Hey guys, so no spoilers are in this review. I repeat, no spoilers are in this soundtrack review. I'm serious. Avoid all the spoilers before you see this film because you will be glad you did it. So, the score for Spider-Man Homecoming is composed by Michael Giacchino, who has another little film coming out this month called War for the Planet of the Apes, but more on that next week. First we need to cover the Spider-Man score. So, after several legendary composers created music for the character of Spider-Man in the likes of Danny Elfman, James Horner and Hans Zimmer, now it's Michael Giacchino's turn. And it's his second time composing for a Marvel film after he lately also composed the score for Doctor Strange. Now, what's nice to see or actually hear, the movie opens with the old Spider-Man cartoon theme played over the Marvel logo at the beginning. It's nothing special or something that affected the movie, but it's a nice nod to the history of the superhero. After that we hear the first tones of the score from Michael Giacchino, and in the first hour of the movie the music is really intense and constantly expecting something to happen. So it's also uprising in that sense, and that perfectly captures the tone of the movie. And that is perhaps the best compliment to Michael Giacchino for this soundtrack, because the music fits to every scene perfectly and actually makes some scenes even better, which is certainly a hard thing to do. Now, the music is actually not that big of a character in the movie and you don't notice it too much, but if you pay close attention you'll see that the music actually brings the energy to the movie, because it's fun, fast-paced, and when it needs to be also action-heavy. Michael Giacchino also uses some not so familiar instruments in the Marvel universe, like the heavy use of flutes throughout the whole soundtrack, and guitars and drums in some parts, like for example in the track called Stark Raving Mad. The use of flutes is excellent and I enjoyed every bit because it brings the fun, young, energetic and also innovative side to the movie. Just listen to the track called No Vault on His Own, which describes all the mentioned things about the new Spider-Man. And I would say that this is a perfect representation of what the Spider-Man for the new generation should be, and the music also follows that. Now, to come to the negatives, and the soundtrack has a few, I will say, Marvelistic ones. The main Spider-Man theme for this movie is good and it works, but it doesn't have that something special in it that will make you listen to it more times on repeat. But that is really the main issue with all the Marvel scores in general, and Giacchino didn't prove it otherwise. The overall soundtrack album also falls in the category of forgettable because it doesn't have some haunting tracks that you will remember in years to come. So if you are looking for some memorable music, you won't find it here. And that is in some sense disappointing because Spider-Man always had a memorable theme that will follow him in his adventures. So to conclude it all, the score for Spider-Man Homecoming fits perfect to the movie. It's fun, innovative with the use of flutes and gives the overall energy to the movie, but lacks from memorable and interesting themes and tracks, which is a constant Marvel problem. So I'm gonna give it 80 out of 100. Thanks so much for watching, and if you love movie soundtracks and movies in general, feel free to subscribe because this is the channel for you. And I'm also really curious, what do you think about the soundtrack for Spider-Man Homecoming? So comment below, click the thumbs up button, it will be all very much appreciated. Thank you once again and I'll see you next time.